Welcome into WCSN's coverage of Arizona State football. They picked up the win tonight against Texas Tech, 68-55. Now, a big contributor tonight, Colton, is going to be Kalen Ballage. This guy tied the NCAA's all-time record for most TDs in a game. So how big of an influence was he tonight?
Well, obviously, Kalen Ballage is going to garner most of those headlines, but I feel like the three-headed monster out of the backfield, comprised of Manny Wilkins, Demario Richard, and Kalen Ballage, deserve a lot of the credit as a unit. Demario Richard was sort of the grinder tonight. He had 30 carries for 114 yards. Kalen Ballage, he did have 13 carries for 140 yards, which is absolutely insane. But then Manny Wilkins, he had the 10 carries, 55 yards. Those three guys seem to be an intricate part of Chip Lindsey's offense and what he hopes to do moving forward. So obviously what Kalen Ballage did here tonight is incredible, but I feel like all three of those guys deserve credit for what happened in the rushing attack.
And talking about credit, Kalen Ballage mentioned that offensive line was a big reason why he's able to accomplish what he did tonight. So that was a huge reason as well.
Brought him to the press conference, gave them the credit that they deserved. So.
And these guys right here, every single day we're going to work. Every lift, every practice, everything we do, we've been focused, and it shows. And tonight, these guys, what they did up front was absolutely amazing, and that's why I decided to bring all 5 of them up here, because they deserve it.
Yeah, it's really good to see, those guys giving credit where credit is due. And Todd Graham even talked about that. He feels like the chemistry on this team is on a different level, and that's why he feels like this team is going to be successful.
I think our guys got unique relationships, and they run really hard. They play really hard for each other. I love going in the locker room for the game, and I see them standing up in front of the offensive line talking to them and telling them, how hard they're going to run for them and committing to them, and that's unique.
All right, now, Jacob, something from last week that brought up a little bit of concern was ASU's secondary. So how do you think that secondary, that defense, performed tonight?
Well, they had arguably their toughest task of the season, going against who some people think is a potential Heisman candidate in Patrick Mahomes. And, they kind of were up for the test. At the start, they struggled a little bit, but with every ASU score, I think the group gained more confidence. And then in the fourth quarter, Gump Hayes jumped 2 routes, had 2 picks, both had huge implications on the game. They started getting less conservative, got more aggressive. That's what led to the interceptions. And overall, I think the defense made positive strides, even though they gave up 55 points.
Once again, the final score there was 68-55 in ASU's favor. For Colton Dodson, Jacob Janauer, I'm Megan Plain. And for more football coverage, go ahead and visit us at cronkitesports.com.